the Crafty Gemini YouTube channel. I go live on both platforms at the exact same time, so whichever one you prefer to use to watch us, that works fine. All right, so let's pop in the chat and make sure that everybody can see me and hear me. I'm coming to y'all from a really stormy North Central Florida here from my home sewing studio. Welcome everybody. Hi, Miss Bernadine. Hey, Melanie tuning in from Houston. We got Pat from Virginia. Hi, Barb, tuning in from San Diego, California. We got Amy also tuning in from San Diego, California. That's awesome. All right. So I am here today. We're going to be talking a little bit more, probably the last time you'll hear me talk about this course, but today is the last day to sign up and save 30 bucks off the sign up price for my Jalie Gisele Blouse sewing online course. I know a bunch of you that are probably on here have already signed up. Some of you have been receiving your kits, your patterns, and you're getting ready to kick off the course with us and get started making the blouse that I'm wearing here. I actually just made this one this morning because I wanted to make a couple of modifications and share with you the difference in the look, and I'll step back in a moment and show you how it fits based on the modifications that I made, because some of the changes that I made to this top, I know several of you that have already signed up for the course have inquired about. So I'll talk about what I will be covering in the course, tell you the different things that you can get. The course, we sell it separate. Right now it's on sale for $77. Tonight at midnight, the price goes up to $107. So you will be able to still sign up for this online course. It will just be at the higher price rate, and the price will never go back down as low as it is now. I always do this for my launches. Whatever the early bird sale price is that we kick off a new course or club with, that's it. Even if I make it available that you can sign up and join the class or club later, it's always going to be at a higher price. So it's kind of me giving back to those of you that are hardcore followers. You open your emails, you follow me on social media, you get first dibs, and you get to save 30 bucks if you want to sign up for this course. Okay. Hi, Sally, tuning in. We got Nancy from Chicago, Kathy from Illinois too, Miss Sheila tuning in from Massachusetts. Hey, Kay from Jacksonville, Florida. That's a neighbor up the road. Awesome. Hey, Valerie, tuning in from Michigan. All right, so I'm going to start off by briefly just recapping what the course is. I know a lot of you have heard this, but I do want to get the word out because, again, tonight at midnight, the price to the course goes up by 30 bucks, okay? Then we're going to talk a little bit about fabric. We'll talk about the modifications that I made for this Jalie Gisele top, and I'm definitely here to answer your last-minute questions. So if you're one of those people that is still on the fence about signing up for my course and you have a pressing question that you want me to answer, I will do my best to get to as many questions as I can during the live today. So just pop those in on the chat, whether you're watching on Facebook or YouTube. Now let's go ahead and take a moment real quick. If you're enjoying this video and you're looking forward to learning more about this course, give the video a thumbs up. If you're on Facebook, feel free to share it to your personal page. So maybe if you have other friends that are into sewing or want to get into sewing clothes, maybe they're interested, you know, in signing up for my class. All right. Great, so everybody can see me and hear me. Everything seems to be working fine, so let's get right to it. So the pattern that we are using for this course is sold separately because I didn't design the pattern. Jalie designed the pattern, and so what I like to do with my garment sewing online courses is I choose a tried and true pattern that I've made multiple times in different sizes, and I usually will start off with kind of wardrobe builders. So this is a lightweight woven blouse. It's just a simple top that we're going to be making out of woven fabrics. These fabrics are not stretchy. They're lightweight, drapey fabrics. Here's a chunk left over from the top that I made myself this morning. I know sometimes people will always ask, like, well, how long does it take to make? Sometimes I hesitate to tell you all how long it took me because I have a lot of experience sewing, right? And I'm super fast on top of that, and I use a super fast sewing machine. So it's kind of like a cheater way, but I sometimes like to say it anyways so that you know, okay, even if you quadrupled the amount of time that it takes me, it's still not that long, right? So this top and the way that I made it just had a front, a back piece, 2 sleeves, and then the neckline binding. That's it as far as pattern pieces and fabric pieces go, okay? So you can imagine, the less pattern pieces you got to sew together, the quicker the make. Right? Now, one of the challenging things about sewing with lightweight woven fabrics is just that. lightweight woven fabrics. The same way that they're loose, nice, comfy, breezy, and drapey to wear, they're also all those things while you're trying to work with them, pinning them and sewing them. So that can be a challenge if you are completely new to sewing with lightweight wovens. Now this fabric is a rayon challis, and it's more like a crepe rayon challis because it's still light and flowy like we all know rayon challis to be, but it has a slight texture to the top of it. So it's kind of cool feeling. And this is a black and white floral print. Now, let's see. Sheila's saying she would like a higher neckline, please. So there are several different ways that you could raise the neckline. For me, this one fits me even lower than the other sizes that I typically make for myself because I made a larger size. And so that's one of the things that I wanted to talk about that we're obviously going to be covering in the online course. So this is another one I made for myself in a size smaller than the one I'm wearing here. The neckline I think is pretty modest, but if you did want to hike it up a little bit more, you'd have to work on a muslin first because, well, two things. You'd either have to work on a muslin to make sure that if you brought the neckline up, you'd still be able to put it over your head to fit it on because there is no closure in this version, okay? Now, in the video course, we also have a keyhole button closure on the back, which you need to do for the kid sizes because on a smaller kid size, and this is a size O, Jalie size O, which is a kid size 11 that I made for my daughter. And so because the girl tops are smaller, the neckline is also smaller, so they won't be able to get their head in. And so for that, Jalie added this really cool keyhole, like button closure on the back. So what I would do for you is if you wanted to bring the neckline on the women's adult sizes up some, you would definitely want to watch the video lessons when we get to them on how to install that keyhole button closure because you're going to need it to open up more in order to fit your head in, okay? Now, although we are not going to be covering how to change the neckline, those are like different pattern modifications and hacks that you can do. There is, we'll be able to troubleshoot and kind of guide you in the right direction. I have videos that I've done, I think on the Westchester Dolman top it's a stretch knit top that I have a free PDF pattern for. I also sell the hard copy patterns, and it's one of my patterns that I designed. I have like 7 video lessons for that project. And on the neckline one, I'm trying to think. I think where the video lessons are that I teach you how to change the neckline up, down, and V-neck it and all that stuff for that pattern is in the hack pack. I put together like a hack pack bundle course for that same pattern. It's a different top, showing you different ways to hack and modify it. We won't be covering those types of things in this course because the pattern itself, this is how I teach the Jalie classes. We teach the pattern the way that it is. So first things first, the pattern includes, when you order it like this from us, if you get a kit from us, which we don't have very many left, I think we only have the black kits left that come with black fabric. But every kit includes the pattern in it, okay? So the pattern itself includes 28 different sizes. A US toddler size 2, all the way to a US women's size 24. So you can see this is a size BB, which ends up being the woman's size extra large, like a size 18, and that's why it's kind of loose. The neckline is a little bit shifty on me because it's just wider and bigger. But if you like tops to fit you loose, and I'm going to take a step back because some of you I know saw the other tops that I have. I have one that I made that's in the wash because I wore it already. And then this one, this is size AA, which is a woman's size large in the Jalie patterns. And if I place it on myself here, I think you can you see that the one I'm wearing is longer? I added 1 3/8 inch to the length of this one, and I did one size bigger. So you can see I have large arms and I still have a lot of room in the sleeves. So for those of you that like to wear your things breezy and like baggier, you don't like everything so semi-fitted and stuff to your body, all you gotta do is choose a size that's bigger, and then you can adjust down certain areas like that. But if you just want it to fit you somewhat the same as another one, just want it a little bit looser, and I know a lot of you out there have written me emails and said, like, is there a way to make the top longer, right? Because in some of the emails I included this picture, and you can tell the top is kind of short. That's how the pattern is designed, right? For those of you that have a short waist, you may be happy because, I have friends that sometimes they're making clothes and they constantly have to hack off a couple of inches. If you like to wear them shorter, that's how the pattern is. However, if you want the top to be longer, like I did here, I added 1 3/8 inch to it. The hem is a split hem right here, and the front is a little bit shorter than the back, but you can see by just adding 1 3/8 inch, it goes all the way past my butt and covers all my hips. So almost like a tunic, and you can even make it longer than this, right? So we're going to talk about these modifications, just making these slight changes before you cut your fabric pieces out in the video course, okay? So again, I just went up one size. And so I have more room, there's more positive ease, right? Ease when we make garments is the difference in measurements between my actual body measurements, like if I were to measure myself around my bra, and then measuring the actual garment itself around the same area. The difference in measurement between those two is the amount of ease that you have. So if you're making a top that's really tight and stretch fabric, it oftentimes will have negative ease, meaning the finished garment at the bust line will measure less than your actual bust, because the whole point of it is for it to stretch over your bust. So that would come into play when you're making things like sports bras, really tight tank tops, bathing suits, that kind of stuff. When we're working with a woven fabric that doesn't stretch and we need to like fit it over our heads and fit it over our arms with no closures, it has to have enough room in those areas to fit your body parts in them, right? So we're gonna have positive ease instead. So you can see that this, I still have several inches of room here around my hips, and if I tug on the top, it goes all the way down. So super simple. The lengthen and shorten line is already included in the pattern, but I will cover that stuff in the video lessons if you sign up for the course so that you see exactly how else it works, okay? But again, these were not lengthened. So this is for my daughter, and you can see that the silhouette of the garment is for like a short top. It's supposed to end kind of like right at your hip, okay? So that's that. Let's see. Oh, I have some questions coming in. Give me a second. Let me come here. Okay. Deanne is asking, can you use quilting cotton or only rayon? You cannot use quilting cotton for this top. And I talked about this, I think, last Friday when we launched the course. I was telling people, like, do not grab the quilting cotton to try and make your first version. It's not lightweight. It's not, doesn't have a soft drape. And it's not what the pattern recommends on the back. You always want to read what the designers have included in the pattern directions, instructions. Oftentimes it's on the back of the pattern what it is. So I'll read the little section here for fabrics. This pattern is it's recommended that you use lightweight fabrics with a soft hand and nice drape. Then they give you some suggestions: linen, linen blends, chambray, rayon challis, which is what I have here. Almost all these samples are rayon challis. A couple of them are polyester fabric called bubble crepe, that's semi-sheer, but also is lightweight, has a soft hand, and has nice drape. They also say like crepe de chine and tencel lyocell. So you definitely want to go with the recommendations. If you're purchasing a kit from us, they're all a solid color rayon challis, and you know it will work because I'm telling you it will work. Okay, let's see what else. What other questions we have? Joan says, can you make this using a stretchy fabric? So the short answer is yes. Will you need to make changes, specifically choosing a smaller size? Probably so. The same way that I said, if we're making a garment out of a woven fabric that doesn't stretch, remember I said we need to leave room to fit our head. We got to have room in the arms to fit our arms and then also be able to move them without being like, oh, it's too tight, right? You got to have positive ease built in there for the movements of the body because the fabric doesn't stretch. So the opposite is also true. If the fabric stretches, you don't need to leave quite as much room, which means you probably don't need to use a larger size like you did if you're using the woven fabric, right? Like this. So if I made this out of a really stretchy fabric, maybe like a double brushed polyester spandex, I would probably size 2 or 3 sizes down because I like the garments to fit a little more fitted to the body. And if it's a stretch garment, it's going to really just like shape my body, like the silhouette in at the waist and out at the hips like that, because the fabric stretches. So the short answer is yes, Joan, but you would have to make a muslin, like try one out first, maybe one size less, and see, because it's all going to vary depending on the amount of stretch that the stretchy fabric that you want to use has also. There's a lot of wiggle room when it comes to garment sewing. So this is one of the reasons people are like, how are you charging $77 for an online course? There's 25 step-by-step video lessons. It's not just about like, okay, grab the front and the back, let's sew it together. There's a lot of information that you need to have and understand before you even like buy the fabric, before you pre-wash it, before you start tracing out the pattern that size that you want to make. Okay, so I cover everything from beginning to finishing off that top, this top in this case, all the way to the end. Okay. Okay, Anne says her kit and her tracing paper arrives today. Awesome, she's so excited. Great. I can't wait to see what you make, Anne. All right. Kay says, is it reversible? The black one looks like it has a different inside. It's not. It's not reversible. Which black one? Maybe this one? It has to do with some of the fabrics, right? Like if you have a fabric that's black on the outside, oftentimes the way that they dyed the fabric is not fully saturated all the way through. So you may see a lighter color on the inside. But no, the top is not reversible. Okay. Melinda says, do you say that in the demo video? I need to make it longer. Absolutely. So we are covering that. I briefly touch on it when we're going over the pattern sheet overview, telling you like where the different things on the patterns are. But when we make view B, which is going to be this one, the bracelet length sleeve, because I go through both views. The pattern has a short sleeve option like I'm wearing and a bracelet length sleeve option. Okay, so those are the two views, view A and B. And then we also are going to cover the keyhole button closure, which you got to do for the kid sizes, but it's optional in the adult sizes. Okay, so we're going to cover all of that. And when I make view B, or when the video lessons for view B come out, that's where we're going to lengthen the garment. And so you'll see exactly what you need to do that when you make your top. Okay, so yes, that is included in the video lessons. Okay. Yeah, Eunice says, I think your top fits exactly like I would want mine to fit. Thanks. And I told my husband that I was like, I'm going to whip one up real quick in a larger size today and lengthen it to wear it on the live, because I know a lot of you don't like shorter. And remember that the pattern, when we read the pattern description on the back, it literally says semi-fitted at the bust. So if you don't want anything skimming your bust line, you definitely are going to want to size up so you have more room in here and you don't feel like it's like right up against your bust line. Okay? All right. Brenda is asking, does the course require a serger machine? It does not. If you have one, it'll be super easy for you to whip up and put together, right? Because the serger stitches the pieces together and finishes the raw edges of our seams at once. So yes, if you have one, that'll be easy for you to whip up, assuming you know how to use your serger. But if you want to make this like just the regular tops, you don't need a serger. You just need a machine that has a straight stitch. That's it. Okay, we don't need a zigzag here because there's no stretchy fabrics. We don't need anything to give in the stitch lines. Everything from the construction seams to top stitching the hems and the neckline, it's all done with a straight stitch. So in the course, we go over several different ways on how you can finish your raw seams. And I actually did a live, what was it, last Wednesday? Last WIP Wednesday was a demo that I did sharing with you a couple different ways on how you can finish the raw edges. So if you don't have a serger to finish the raw edges, I'll share with you how else you can finish the raw edges, but you'll still be able to make, you know, a clean, nice, professional finished top. You won't have like all the little fraying bits on the inside of your seams, okay? Okay. So great questions, y'all. Tamara says, can we use a serger for the construction? Absolutely, girl. You can crank right through it. The only things that obviously you won't be able to serge are the top stitching of the hem, because this needs to be stitched on top. But you can serge the actual hem itself, you know, like the raw edge of it before you turn it under. That can be serged. The top stitching of the bottom hem, of the sleeve hem, and the neckline. Those are the only three places, because you have exposed stitches that you can't just serge, right? But as far as the other construction seams, you can definitely do it on a serger. But again, it's not necessary. You just need straight stitch. All right. Let's see. Nancy says, I keep getting offers for Smarty when I go to pay. Is it legitimate? So it sounds like you're hitting an ad on our website and we can't control like what types of ads you're shown. So I would just, anything that looks like a coupon thing or an ad or whatever, just exit out. Just click the little X box to get rid of that. All right. Let's see. Angelia says, what about flannel? So I'm not familiar with all types of flannel, but I will say the flannel that we often as quilters will use for baby blankets and little soft quilts and quills and rag quilts and stuff like that, it's going to be way too medium to heavyweight for this garment. Again, you have to use a fabric that the pattern suggests. Otherwise, it's not going to drape. It's not going to hang on your body the way that it's designed to. If you use a fabric that is too stiff, it's not going to look right. You're not going to be happy. Okay, so I would say no, definitely no to the flannel. All right, let's see. Oh, Susan says she's added more rayon challis fabric. Get it quick before they sell out. So yes, I was going to mention this. And let me scoot some of these samples out of the way. We went ahead and added some of the rayon challis that we have left in stock to the shop. So if you maybe didn't want to buy a kit because you don't want to make it in a solid rayon challis, and I think we're only down to only black, solid black rayon challis in the kits. But if you want to buy your own yardage, right? Say you know, okay, you only need 1.5 yards and you want to buy the fabric on its own, we have some prints up. up this one here, obviously, ta-da, the same fabric that I made mine out of this morning. So this black and white floral rayon challis is posted on the site. Remember, anything that you want to purchase from us or you want to sign up for, like the course or the fabric that I'm about to show, everything can be found on our website at craftygemini.com/shop. Okay, and we'll put the link in the description box below and in the chat for you so you can see. Okay, so the black and white rayon challis. Obviously, will it work for this top? Yes, because you see the one that I'm wearing. We have another one that's black and red diamond. So this rayon challis, also we don't have much of that one left on the bolt. I have several bolts of this one. This is like an white polka dots on aqua. And I would say the dots themselves are about 3/8 of an inch in diameter, so a good size. I need to make myself some of these too. I'm going to go ahead and cut out some pieces so that as we're going through the course, I can be working on some other tops alongside y'all so we can have more to discuss and chat about during our live Zoom calls. This is white dots on navy. It's so dark, it looks black, but it's navy. Like even looking at it like this, I had to put the flashlight on my phone like, no, it's navy. So we have some like that. And then this really cute floral, I might make myself one of these. My daughter might like this one. And this is like a pink floral little bundles on a cream. I put on white, but it's more like a cream on the background color of it. So yeah, so we have those rayon challis prints for sale while supplies last. And remember that when you're buying fabric in our online shop, it's all sold in half-yard increments. So if you want 1 yard, you're going to put a quantity of 2, right? A half yard and another half yard is going to be 1 yard. And we will ship it to you in one continuous cut. We're not going to send you 5 different little half-yard cuts. We have the description there laid out in all the product pages. So if you're ever wondering about the fabric or how much it is or how it's sold, just read the description there. All the details are right there for you. Okay. So yes, thanks Susan for reminding me. We did go ahead and add those prints of the rayon challis in there. Okay, great. Oh, Sally says she's in. Awesome. Yeah, if you've already signed up for the course, go ahead and let me know in the chat box. I can't wait to see what y'all are going to be making, your tops and any modifications, what fabrics you use. It's going to be super fun. Okay, let's see. Another question here. Barbara's asking, does it have bust darts? So it does not. If we read the description on the back of the pattern, it says, easy to wear, modern and feminine top, semi-fitted at the bust. Bound scoop neck, keyhole back, optional for adult sizes. Clever side slits for movement and a straight hem that is longer in the back. You have the choice of short sleeve or bracelet length sleeve with elastic at the wrist. When you read the description of any pattern, this goes across all the different pattern companies. They will tell you on the back what it has and what it doesn't have. So there are no darts. And the reason for that, I mean, it really is a genius like pattern drafting that they worked out because, you know, when I first picked up this pattern, I was like, yeah, right. You know, for my bust, I usually have to have bust darts, especially when you're working with woven fabrics. They don't stretch. So we have to take darts in them in order to make the fabric curve around the different rounded parts of your body, right? So when I first made this and I was like, yeah, right, this is going to fit me with no bust darts. And it does. It's semi-fitted. They've accounted for adding in extra room so you have room to fit your bust, right? Without needing to make the darts. I mean, it's really like a super... If you sew and you sew garments, then you probably don't need the class. But if you want to buy the pattern from us, we sell the pattern by itself too. So that's always an option. I have some students, you know, they're well advanced garment sewists and they're just going to buy the pattern so they can make it themselves. But I think it's cool to show how loose and bigger this one fits me and how much longer. And I only added 1 3/8 inches to the length. So if you wanted it a little bit longer, more tunic length, you can add 3 inches or whatever you want, right? So we're going to cover that in the video course. All right. Let's see what else I have here. Whew. I'm going to have to skip some of these. This chat is flying by for me, y'all. Okay. Angelia says she got the course this morning. Marilyn says she's ready to go. Amy says she signed up. She already got her kit and everything. And then Monique is asking, did you show the top with the bracelet length sleeve? So let me show you this one. This is a one with the bracelet length sleeve. I haven't made any of these for myself in my size yet. I'm in Florida, y'all. It is still piping hot. But definitely I will show you in the video lessons how to make it for those of you that want to do that. So you can look, you can see the sleeve. It's pretty much a straight shot in terms of the shape of it going down. And then it has elastic at the bottom here so that it can help stay up on your arm, right? And you don't have to be cinching it up. But if you did want to, you can go up higher on your arm and you'd have that elastic to help it stay in place. It's kind of like a cute little finish, I think. But yeah, that's definitely, you know, coming up on the fall, that's going to be perfect. It's like you take the same little summer blouse, super easy to wear over jeans, over leggings. You can make it even longer, whatever you want to do with it, and then make yourself some long sleeve options, you know, to cover up a little bit more. Okay, let's see. Oh, Nancy says she signed up for the course, the pattern, and she got a clapper. She's so excited. Awesome, Nancy. I'm glad you're all set. Can't wait to see the tops you make. Now, one thing that I will say is if you have more of this type of lightweight fabric, or you have a local fabric shop that you can pick some up at, I want my students that are signing up for this course to commit to making at least 2 of these tops. Oftentimes when you make something the first time, and this doesn't only apply to garments, right? Sometimes we make a quilt pattern the first time and it wasn't quite right. Sometimes you get discouraged and you don't want to make it again, or with bag projects, that can be the case too. And then especially with garments. I want y'all to commit to making at least 2 of these tops, one short sleeve and then the other option. So if you can commit to making both views, I think you're going to see a world of a difference in your sewing skills, in your confidence, in how amazing you're going to feel being able to have a top that's wearable for you. If you've never made clothes and walked out in public and had anybody tell you anything, I don't think you know the feeling of like, oh, thanks, I made this. I do that all the time because I work with a lot of funky fabrics, stuff that people see me wearing and they're like, there's no way you bought that at a store. Duh, that's kind of the whole point, right? For me to be like, oh, this whole thing, yeah, you know, I made it by myself, you know, like with my hands in a sewing machine. So I definitely, if you're a student in my class, commit to making both of these. We're going to be there to help you. We're going to have 3 weekly live Zoom chats that start this Saturday. So for 3 Saturdays in a row, even if you can't attend live, if you work, you know, if your work hours will cause you to be able to miss it, or your time zone or whatever, they will be recorded and posted still on your course page so you all can go back and watch them. And I think that communication between other students, seeing what pain points other students have, what you're struggling with, we're all gonna help you troubleshoot it. We're gonna talk about it, show our fabrics. And of course, I'm definitely gonna finish off my course, like I always do, with some giveaways for just my registered students. So we'll be talking about those going into the last live chat. So you'll wanna stay up on it, stay on your course calendar so you don't miss a date, and then definitely commit to making both views, okay? Melinda says, I've never made clothes before. This will be my first. I'm so excited for you. Awesome. Thanks for joining, Melinda. We're going to be here to help you through it. All right. Great. Andrea says she signed up. She just received her kit, and she's looking forward to the course. Great. Let's see. Kay says, when she clicks on the pink floral, the turquoise and white comes up. Is that a problem? Just make sure that it is selected, the one that you actually want, Kay. And if you still have any issues, just email us, okay? Okay. Yes, Tamara says, great advice to make more than one. My second one always turns out better, LOL. It does. There's no doubt about it. I feel like a lot of times beginner sewists go into like, okay, they get the perfect fabric that they love. They get the perfect pattern that they want to make. And as they start making it, they really are hoping, fingers crossed, that the top or the garment, whatever it is, turns out exactly how they wanted it to. And what I suggest is start off with like a cheaper fabric that you're not super duper in love with first, and commit to making a second one, because as you work on the steps the first go around, you don't really know what's coming next. So you can't anticipate how important it is for this one step to be super precise, because then it's going to carry over to the next one. But when you make that second one, you already know what's coming next. And I mean, it literally is a world of a difference from the first to the second garment that you make. So again, if you're signing up for my course, commit to making at least 2 of them, even if it's 2 short sleeves, even if it's 2 kid sizes. That's another way to, you know, bring up your sewing skills and still participate. You might be like, I'm never going to wear this shirt, but I want to learn how to make clothes. That would still be a great opportunity for you to join the class, make them in smaller sizes so you're using less fabric, but you're still building up those sewing skills. Okay, so there's a lot to be learned in the 25 step-by-step video lessons. Now, speaking of the 25 video lessons, half of them are already up. Today was Wednesday, right? So the next 5 videos were posted this morning. I actually posted them last night. But you have 12 video lessons that if you sign up for the course right now, the first 12 videos in the course are ready for you to watch, get started. You could still order a kit from us. You can order fabric because we're not yet sewing. We're still in the prep stages. Remember, I said there's a ton of stuff involved in making garments. There's a lot of prep work. Before you even sit down at your sewing machine, you got to watch the first 12 videos, okay? All right, awesome. Let's see. Alyssa's asking, does this make 3X or 4X sizes? So the pattern that we'll be using, you need to purchase the pattern, whether you get the PDF from Jalie and you print it out and put the pages together, or we sell the hard copy patterns in our online shop by itself too. We're using this pattern. So whatever sizes are included in here is what you'll be able to make, right? Because we're not going over pattern drafting to change things up. So this pattern includes US toddler size 2 to US woman size 2XL, which is a US woman size 24. So this covers, and I'll just go over the body measurements at what the largest size that's listed on the pattern goes. For a full bust of 51 inches, a natural waist of 44 inches, and full hips of 54 inches. Okay, so if your measurements are a little bit bigger than that, like by half an inch, I would say you can still definitely do it because you'll be able to just add on a little bit extra for seam allowance. But if you're like 3 sizes bigger than the largest size in the pattern, then it's probably not going to be a good fit for you because you'll have to draft something different. And then that's beyond the scope of the course. All right. So really, if you can fit whatever sizes you want to make into the size chart here, it's going to be your best bet because it's already included and will help, minimize the challenges and changes you'll need to make. All right, let's see. Amy says, I like making the same pattern multiple times. She says she learns something new with each one. Absolutely. That definitely goes to my point, and I always tell people that. And another thing is not just in making it more than once. The first fabric that you use, you may not have been super in love with it, but then you see how it fits and you're like, it's growing on me. That happens to me all the time. I'll pick like the ugliest fabric from my stash and be like, let me just check out, how it fits and stuff. And then I put it on and I'm like, oh, the fabric's not that ugly. It's kind of cute. And then you go and pick another fabric that you love even more. You make the same garment, make little tweaks and changes. If you need it to be a little bit longer, if you want it to be a little bit looser at the hips, you make those little changes. And from that first to second garment, I mean, you could have a world of a difference in your skills and in how it fits because now you see how it finished in the first go round. Okay, great. Susan says she got the Boswell tracing paper. It's awesome. It's a very big roll. So we sold out super quick of that Create a Pattern. And what she's talking about is the tracing paper that I use whenever I trace my garment sewing patterns out with, okay? I use this because, as you can see, it's 46 inches long by 5 linear yards. It's translucent. It's easy to see the lines of the pattern so you can trace it out. We sold out of these already, but I have another large order that just was shipped today. So we have it set on the website, I think, to back order. So they should be in soon. And as soon as we get them, I'll start shipping them back out to y'all. Okay, for those of you that are ordering that. Nancy says, how much fabric for practice? So how much fabric you'll need for the practice top is going to depend on the size that you want to make, okay? I am making this was a size, BB. This one that I'm wearing, that's why it fits me bigger and looser because it's a bigger size than I normally make. And on here it says I would need 1.5 yards, which is pretty insane. 1.5 yards to make a size, this size, like a size 18 or 20. And 1.5 yards of 54-inch wide fabric. That's like nothing. And you'll have a super cute top. And that should still be enough for you to be able to add a little bit of length to it. Okay? So yeah, Nancy, depending on your size, I mean, you can look on the back of the pattern, on the back of the pattern sheet here. And then also, if you're already signed up for the course, you can log in and look at the video on fabric yardage requirements. I go through in depth, helping you understand this entire chart, where to look, how to determine the size, and how much fabric you'll need, depending on the width of the fabric. I have video lessons on all of that. So that's part of all the prep work that I told y'all that we need to do when we make clothes. Okay. Monique says, I'm signing up before midnight tonight. I need some tops for the fall, and this will be perfect with skirts or slacks. She says, I've sewn garments before, but this looks like it will be versatile and fun. Awesome, awesome, Monique. I can't wait to see the tops that you make. And Nancy's asking, is there such thing as a cheap rayon challis? So there is. You don't want to get stuff that's like super, super open weave that after you wash it, it's just going to be like super shifty all over the place and super sheer also. What we did with the kits that we are selling on our online shop is that we did just solid rayon challis. And if you choose a fabric that's solid versus one that has a print like this, it's always going to be a little bit more affordable. So you can, look into that. All right. Thank you, Anne. She says, show Vanessa some love by giving this video a thumbs up. I would definitely appreciate it. If you're watching us on YouTube and you're not yet subscribed to our YouTube channel, definitely make sure to click the subscribe button and the bell icon so you get notified every time I go live and when I post a new video. All right, let's see. Anne says, I was so surprised to learn how much prep there is in sewing garments. You and half the world that is interested in sewing. And I feel like I constantly have to be explaining to people and they're not trying to hear it. They're just like, I just want to make it. Like, here's the pattern. This is the fabric I love. I just want to make this. And it's like, that's not how it works. But me more than anybody, I love to just jump into a project, but this is, you have to prepare for it because there are so many factors that come into play that can either make or break the project, you know? You don't want to spend time, money, effort, and then get something that doesn't fit, which I know is the case for a lot of you out there who have had failed attempts, because last week on Friday when I launched this online sewing course, I asked, you know, how many of you have had failed attempts? And a ton of you were like, oh yeah, failed attempts. And so my job as a teacher, I feel, is to set you up for success so that you don't have those epic fails, because a lot of times you want to make clothes and you have a failed attempt and then you're like, well, maybe sewing clothes is not for me. I'll go back to sewing quilts or making bags, right? But you can do it. You just have to have the right guidance and be working with the right fabric, material, to the right pattern, and choosing the right size for your body. So you just need someone to guide you through the process. And that's why I'm here. That's why I do these courses and these clubs for y'all, okay? Okay, let's see if I have another one here. Amy's asking, where's a good place to get the bubble crepe like the blouse you made for your daughter? So I actually have a couple of bubble crepes that we need to get listed on the website. I'm hoping I can have those listed by today. So I would check back. If you are already signed up for the course, I will definitely send an email to my registered students letting you know when we restock stuff or we have more things that you can use, because you're already in the class. So chances are, you know, you're looking for these types of things. So yes, I will work on adding a couple of the bubble crepes. I have the one that I use for my daughter's top. I have this much left on a bolt. And I still need some for me, you guys. I can't sell it all off. I'll probably pull like 1.5 yards and then and then list the rest. But yeah, super fun. You just have to keep in mind that the bubble crepe is two things. Very semi-sheer. So for this, my daughter will wear it with just like a little sports bra underneath, and then I will probably wear it with a tank top right underneath, like a black or a nude colored one, because you can see, I mean, you can see through it. Right? If I made it loose enough though, and I wore like a black bra, then it would be off enough off the body, not like semi-fitted if I made it in my true size, that then you could probably get away with it. But like I said, it's two things. It's 100% polyester. So some of you I know are just like, I cannot even look at polyester. But it is super lightweight and drapey. So it is, what was I saying? It's two things. I said, one is 100% polyester, and two, that it's semi-sheer. Kind of sheer, right? So that's that. Let's see. Oh, awesome. Eunice says she just ordered some fabric from the print that I'm wearing. Excited to see it on me, she says. I can't wait to see it on you, Eunice. That's awesome. All right. Oh, Debbie says she's learned so much from my videos. Thank you. You're welcome. And thank you, Debbie. I appreciate it. Nancy says, do you suggest the rayon challis for the muslin? So it doesn't have to be the rayon challis, but I do recommend that when you're making the muslin, like your first draft, your first go around of making the garment, that it be still in a fabric that is recommended. Because if you were to say like, okay, I have a ton of quilting cotton fabric and I'm going to make my first one out of that, you're not going to be happy. One, you're not going to wear it, and two, it's not going to fit the way that it's supposed to because you didn't use the right fabric. So you don't want to put in all that effort, even if you have the fabric lying around or got it for free. Make sure that you use a fabric that fits what the pattern calls for. So in this case, a rayon challis is an affordable option. If you're choosing a solid color, is going to be more affordable than a print design. But then also have a look at some of these lightweight polyesters like the bubble crepe and stuff, because those can oftentimes, because they are 100% polyester, and maybe if you found one in a solid, that would also be like a more affordable option. But don't skimp a couple dollars on the yards, especially if you only need 1 yard or 1.5 yards to try your first go at it, you know, to save a couple bucks using a fabric that doesn't work, right? You're not going to want to put the effort in and not be happy with the finished result. And Susana is asking, do we need to wash our fabric from our kit? Yes. You definitely want to wash your fabric from your kit. Inside your kit, you should have gotten like a little card that had some info on each of the items that were included, and in there I put, don't forget to wash your fabric. So you're going to want to wash your, or pre-wash your garment fabric in the same way you plan to launder the finished garment. I throw everything in the washing machine. So the rayon challis I wash on cold and I put it like a low tumble dry. The synthetic stuff, I just wash it on whatever else is getting washed with it. It could be warm, it could be hot. I don't care. I just throw it in there and throw it in the dryer. So yes, however you plan to finish or to wash the actual top once it's made, that's what you want to do to pre-wash your fabric. So for those of you that are just tuning in, today is the last day to sign up for my Jalie Gisele online sewing course. We're working on this blouse, 2 views, one with short sleeve and another view, which is view B with the bracelet length sleeve option here. Keyhole button closure, split hem. I mean, there's so many little cute finishes for such a simple top. I think you're going to learn a lot and you're going to help boost your sewing skills. But tonight at midnight, the price for the course goes up by 30 bucks. So if you sign up now, you can get in for $77. That includes 25 step-by-step video lessons walking you through all the prep work, tracing the pattern, cutting the fabric, sewing every seam, finishing the hems, all the things, like every single step is covered on how to make both views of the top. And you get access to our 3 live Zoom Q&A chats. We're going to meet live on Saturdays at 4 p.m. Eastern. If you can't make it to the live Q&A Zoom sessions live, you will also be able to watch the recordings because they're always posted once it ends right there to the course platform. You will have those so that you can ask me questions, ask your fellow student questions, and then we can just chit chat and share our fabrics, share what we're working on, any modifications, changes. It's like a really cool community of like-minded sewists who are going to be working on the same project as you. Then you get access to our private Facebook group, so you can ask questions in there too and post pictures and stuff. And let me see, the video lessons. You get unlimited access. So once the course is done, like when I'm done going through all the video lessons and we've completed the projects, you can always go back and log in a year from now, 3 years from now, 6 months from now, and go back and watch all the video lessons. So you don't have to like hurry up and catch up and make it before a deadline. All the videos will be there for you to access whenever you have time, as long as you have, you know, good quality internet that you can stream the high definition videos, you'd be good. Monique says it's not a lot of fabric. Don't skimp on quality. Ask me how I know. I know, Monique. We all do it to ourselves. We've all been there. We've all done it. But yeah, if for a top like this where you don't need that much yardage, 1 yard, I mean, spend the 10 bucks, you know, and just boom. You'll be able to, you'll have a muslin, you'll have gone through the steps, but then it's probably going to be a wearable muslin, right, that you can still wear. Okay. Awesome. All right. Let's see. Oh yeah, Monique says the money that you save by signing up today, you can go towards buying more fabric. Absolutely. So again, the price for the course is 77 bucks. Tonight at midnight, it goes up to $107. So you will be able to sign up for this class, you know, next week, next month, but it will just be at the higher price and it's never going to come back down to 77 bucks. I always keep the price low when I initially kick out the course and then it goes up and that's it. It doesn't come back down. Okay. So let's see. Shirley has a question. She says, does the pattern have a higher neck? It does not. We talked about this a little bit earlier. You need to have a wide enough opening here in order to get it through, you know, to get your head through it because there is no closure. You can, but this of course is going to require some pattern modifications that will not be covered in the class. You can change the neckline, bring it up, and install the keyhole neck, like the buttonhole neckline finish that the kids ones need because the neckline on a kid's top is not large enough for them to slip their head in, right? Without having this closure. So this is what you would need to do too, is bring up the neckline, draft the patterns, you know, to bring up the front neckline higher up. Then you would need to install the keyhole button closure, which this part I will show you how to do in the course because it's part of the pattern. And then you would have to measure around the neckline because now you're going to change the neckline circumference and then cut out your own bias binding strip to fit that new neckline that you've done. So that's the gist of it. I won't be covering that, you know, step by step how to do it because that's not part of the pattern, but it is a pretty easy modification if you already know how to sew and how to do stuff like that. Okay. Okay, so that's that. All right, so again, if you're interested in signing up for the course before midnight tonight, you can save 30 bucks. It's at craftygemini.com/shop. You'll see the first couple items there. We're selling some rayon challis, so if those of you, maybe if you're working on a different project or you're working on a skirt or a dress, if you're looking for some rayon challis prints, we have a couple in store for you, and I'm just going to show them briefly again, and then we will call it a day. So this is the crepe rayon challis. It just has a slight little crepe texture to it. It's the same fabric I used to make the top that I'm wearing here for the Jalie Gisele. So that's on there. We have this rayon challis that's like red and black diamonds. We've had this before in a kit. I think we sold this in the Michelle tank top dress class that we did a couple years back. We have the white polka dots on aqua, super cute. I think this is going to be the one that I work on in the class with y'all, not the one in the tutorial, because I needed to work with a lightweight fabric for that one so y'all could see all the stitches and stuff, but I want one in that color for me. And then this floral is a pink floral on, I put on the website on white, but the background is more like a cream color. Super cute. And then we have white polka dots on navy. It's a really, really dark navy. Super cute also. I think I want a longer, the bracelet length sleeve in this one would be super chic for fall. Okay, so we have the rayon challis for sale. We have the pattern for sale by itself. If you know how to sew and you just want to make the top, just get the pattern. That's cool too. If you want to sign up for the course so you have unlimited access to the videos, the live sessions, the Q&A sessions with me to chit chat and ask me your questions as we go through watching the different video lessons, you can sign up for that at craftygemini.com/shop. If you want a kit, which includes the pattern, the fabric, the elastic, the thread, the sewing machine needle, we put together a whole little bundle for you, and I think we're only down to the black rayon challis kits right now. You can get that too. That's a separate cost. The course video cost, or the cost of the video course, does not include the materials because this is not my pattern. We had to buy these from Jalie. We had to buy the fabric. You know, we kit it up together as a convenience for our students and customers. So, but that is an option. If you don't have rayon challis or the pattern or the thread or the needle, you can purchase that kit from us. And then what else? If you're already signed up for the course, which I see already that a bunch of you are, make sure that you go ahead and print out the PDF instructions, print out your course calendar, and print out the size selection worksheet. On Saturday's live stream, we are going to go through filling this out together so you can watch the first 12 videos that are already posted. That's half the videos of the video course are already for you, ready to watch today. If you sign up now, you can start logging in and watching those. I'm going to go through through this worksheet with y'all step by step. Let me get a drink of water. And so we're going to do this so that you can, this is a little worksheet I put together to help you figure out what size to trace out and cut, okay? And then you have your course calendar so you never miss a date of when we're going live and when new batches of video lessons will be posted, okay? So today is Wednesday, September 1st. On the calendar it says this morning at 9 a.m. the next 5 videos were posted. They're already there. So you had access to 7 when we first opened the course last Friday, 5 more today. 12 videos right now ready for you to watch to get started, okay? All right. Oh, Eunice says the red diamond print is gone. Okay, well, this is sold out, y'all. Sorry. Things tend to go quick around here, especially when it comes to fabric. All right, let's see. Nita's asking, how do you know how much to change the bias neckband piece if you change the neckline? You'd have to use something like my Curve Runner tool to measure around in circumference. And then you can adjust from there depending. Usually if we're working with the stretchy fabrics, we will take the circumference measurement and find 85% of that, so multiplying it by 0.85 to then determine how long the strip needs to be. This is getting already into like the pattern modifying stuff. So obviously this won't be covered in the class, but you would basically do that. I mean, it fits like 1-to-1, so it's cut on the bias, so there's a little bit more give, but I want to say it's probably like 95% or 100% of the actual neckline circumference that you would cut your bias strip to, put it together in a loop, and then sew it. Now, the technique for sewing the neckline on this top is genius. If y'all know me and if you've ever seen any of the other Jalie garment sewing classes that I've taught, because I've done several over the past 3 years or so, there's always something, no matter how basic the garment looks, it's always like, oh my goodness, they're geniuses. Those girls know what they're doing. So the neckline, it's, I mean, like, I don't even know how to show you. It's such a professional finish. And this is not with a serger. This is not with a cover stitch. This is just with straight stitching. And it is like the most professional, smooth, perfectly finished neckline. Yeah. I mean, like, I feel like the $77 for the class just to learn how to do this neckline, you're like totally worth it. Super cute finishes in the neckline, the split hem, that keyhole button closure on the back. Those little things really will make or break a garment, right? Like the little finishing touches. And so I think it's important to do, you know, courses on stuff like that, that have these little special techniques, but the rest of the garment is pretty straightforward. That way it's not super overwhelming. It's not like this super complex project that you're trying to tackle, but you're learning how to do these different fine finishes, okay? All right. So, awesome. I think that's all for today. Remember that the course price goes up tonight at midnight to $107. If you want to sign up, check us out, craftygemini.com/shop. We're working on the Jalie Gisele top. And again, this one is size BB, and I added 1 3/8 inches to the length of it. I made it a size bigger. This is probably like 1.5 sizes bigger than what I normally make in the Jalie sizes. And then I added some length to it so you can see how much longer it fits past the hips all the way, almost covering my whole butt. So super comfy, super versatile, and I hope to see y'all in class because I want to see the tops that you're making, especially those of you that are new and beginners. I want you to feel super confident after you tackle this once you see how much better your sewing skills have gotten, okay? All right, well, thanks everybody for tuning in today, and I will see y'all next week for another episode of WIP Wednesday, and have a great rest of your week and weekend, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.